There are 3 easy steps in creating a resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz Jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Good morning, everybody. So, welcome to Job20.com's Marketing Lead. We are live at the University of the Assumption. So, today we will be joined by speakers from TaskUs and Cognizant. But before we start, may we invite everybody for a short prayer followed by the national anthem, the UA hymn, and the academic circle.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of God as we pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Almighty God, the origin of life, thank you for creating me and endowing me with numerous gifts, talents, and skills. You know how important my studies are to me, and I so humbly come before you to ask for your gracious help and divine assistance. Source of wisdom and truth, enlighten my mind, and help me to think clearly, that I may be neither careless nor overconfident. Help me concentrate and keep me from getting distracted. Confident of your help, I will be at ease. I will be able to do my best. Grant me the grace to be kind with words, modest in my gestures, prudent in my actions, graceful with my examples, and moral in my decisions. With your help, I can do everything well and get the best results. Please be with me today, that I may always use my knowledge to promote what is moral and good, and to live up to the vision of this university. I also pray that you inspire my teachers, that they may be responsible and thoughtful, as well as tireless in guiding, in assisting me and my classmates. I will always be grateful to you and to all those who are instrumental in helping me get an excellent education. Now, I offer everything back to you in good works that will bring your glory. Amen. Mary, assuming to heaven, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiging nagsagsinahanan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiging, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatak tutok sa simoy at sa langit ang bangaw, ay hinatang tulang awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitingin, ang
For almost 6 decades, the University of the Assumption has constantly produced successful individuals in various disciplines and professions. Being the first archdiocesan university in Asia, the University of the Assumption has remained steadfast to its vision as the leading formator of Catholic leaders who are academically competent, morally upright, and socially responsible. Through the years, college education and graduate school in the University of the Assumption have significantly helped in shaping our society and in defining the future career trends through the leadership of its alumni. As a testament to its excellence, the University of the Assumption is one of the first educational institutions in the Philippines to be certified by the International Organization for Standardization in 2016. The University of the Assumption has always been one of the top performing schools in the province in various professional board examinations. It has also produced several alumni who made it to the top 10 board passers. These successful feats are attributed to its highly qualified faculty, competency and outcome-based curricular programs, modern facilities, and learner-centered educational services. True to its mission of delivering high-quality education, the majority of its academic programs are accredited and re-accredited by the Philippine Accrediting Association of Schools, Colleges, and Universities. College students may choose from a variety of programs and courses, ranging from the arts, humanities, and sciences, teacher education, accountancy and business administration, hospitality, tourism and human relations, allied medical and health sciences, engineering and architecture, and information, communication, and data sciences. There are also graduate and postgraduate programs for college graduates who wish to pursue higher studies in education, teaching and learning, guidance and counseling, business and public administration, and theology and religious studies. With the threats of the COVID-19 pandemic, the University of the Assumption adopted a flexible teaching and learning system dubbed as the UA Flex. The UA Flexible Learning Experience System is the university's proactive mechanism in delivering quality and adaptive education while upholding safety and health among its learning community. Content knowledge, pedagogy, and technology are the main curriculum pillars. UA partnered with the Google Suite for Education so that the ua.edu.ph became a recognized Google domain. All UA faculty, personnel, and students have their official UA G Suite accounts that they use in their online synchronous classes and offline asynchronous self-directed learning with an unlimited cloud storage facility in their UA Google Drive. Google recently launched the Google Workspace for Education that enhanced the learning platform for Google Meet and Google Classroom. Teachers and students conduct their flexible online classes to support their self-directed studies. Meeting recordings are sent to students on demand in their UA Gmail inbox, so no one will miss out on a lesson, even if a student is unable to attend the online discussion. The UA Flex system works with various flexible learning modalities in the context of blended instruction, making use of modular learning as the main instructional modality. In this method, the usual classroom instruction is replaced with live virtual meetings, audio-video instructional facilities, demonstrations, online examinations, self-directed learning, game-based activities, digital works, teleconsultation, online and offline interactive applications, webinars for faculty and student enrichment and development, and a lot more, keeping everyone safe at home while exploring the world around. The UA Flex system proudly complies with the minimum standards of the Commission on Higher Education, plus more features that enrich the teaching and learning experiences. All these and the culture of excellence in the university make UA a safe and adaptive educational institution in the new and emerging normal.
The University of the Assumption has truly helped us, students,
To overcome the adversities brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic since last year.
The UA Flexible Learning Experience, or UA Flex, has provided us a platform
to undertake our learning tasks safely and proactively.
The pandemic may have forbidden us to perform our usual academic tasks on the campus.
But because of the concerted efforts of the administration and faculty of our dear university,
we were able to continue our learning in preparation for our future careers. For that, we can say in UA, everyone matters.
Learning from home is not a bad idea after all.
UA made us realize that self-directed learning is the way to go.
And that makes our experiences more relevant and responsive to the demand of modern economy.
As we develop the values of independence, integrity, and excellence.
Here in UA, we are inspired to look at the challenges of our present situation as opportunities.
Our flexible learning experiences clearly define our paths toward post-COVID careers.
We are not only prepared for the 21st century.
We are also being groomed to become adaptive global citizens amid disruptions caused by economic, social, and physical transitions.
And what makes our UA Flexible Learning Experience truly inspiring
is its spiritual formation that has kept us faithful, strong, and resilient during this time of crisis and health risks.
We owe this to you for its safe and adaptive education in the new and emerging normal.
Greetings, dear Assumptionists. Another UA innovation is on its way. The UA Academic Circle, or the Body Cell System. This is UA's one among the many responses to the pandemic challenge. Inspired by the long-time running church program BECs, or Basic Ecclesial Communities, its aim is to cluster students together into small units called cell groups. And in addition, the body system within these groups. This is to further reinforce UA's basic thrust that everyone matters. At UA, no student is left behind. So, alongside the care of your teachers and advisors, guidance counselors, and spiritual directors, you will now have a small peer group that you can come to and lean on in matters academic primarily, and psycho-emotional and spiritual among others. My gratitude to our product development specialist advisor to the VPAA, Sir Roylingel Kalilong, our librarian, the deans, the principals, and the whole academic cluster team for the conception, development, and implementation of this wonderful program. Let us continue to encourage the culture of support at UA during this pandemic especially and beyond. Hail Assumption!
So, good morning, everyone. So, ready na ba tayo? So, I'm Shari from Academic Linkages. Hope that everybody is excited to learn new things. So, to officially start today's session, may we invite Ms. Laila Luz Cabalia, University of Assumption Guidance and Admissions Director, to give us the opening remarks.
Good morning, Assumptionists. Good morning also to our hosts and speakers from jobs180.com. It is my pleasure to welcome each and every one of you to this webinar, Marketing Me, live at the University of the Assumption. One of the services provided by the Guidance and Admissions Office is the Career and Placement Service. This service aims to prepare college students for the world of work by assisting them in job hunting. This service is necessary because of the stiff competition and demands in the present job market. A year from now, you, our third-year students, will be graduating from college and will be part of the millions of job seekers. However, we are all aware that the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic has brought a lot of changes in every aspect of our lives, whether personal, social, educational, and even career-wise. So I would like to pose these questions for you. Are you ready to enter the world of work during this COVID-19 pandemic? Are you equipped with the skills on how to prepare a winning resume? Are you ready to ace an online interview? Do you possess the qualities and right attitude that will help you land your dream job? Today, I hope that at the end of this webinar, you will find answers to these questions. May the information and learnings you will get from this webinar contribute to your career success in the near future. Thank you in advance for attending today's event. Allow me also to thank jobs180.com for making this event possible. May we all have a great day, and may God continue to bless, protect, and keep us safe.
Thank you for that, ma'am. So, as usual, guys, please let us know where you're from. So, please type in kahit yung courses ninyo so we can address them to our speakers later para they can address you better, no? So, please don't forget to share this video to your friends. So, here is our schedule for this morning. So, first topic, we are doing online applications to be discussed by Sir Kim Chua from jobs180.com. Next, virtual interviews, which will be discussed by Task Us, and qualities that employers look for, which will be discussed by Cognizant Technology Solutions. And so shout out to everyone who is here and who is on time. So thank you guys. So let's go to our first speaker. So our first speaker is the managing director of jobs180.com. So he has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, and customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So, Sir Kim, if you're there, the floor is yours. Take it away, sir.
Everyone. Allow me to share to you how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. A lot of you are now looking for a job and exploring for the next chapter in your life. I hope that this session will be able to help you. No? Not only you, but the people that you know that needs help in terms of how to make a job-winning resume. Yan. So yan na tinatawag natin resume link. A lot of platforms right now, mga online platforms are being offered left and right. But for you to know paano to magiging job-winning tool or job-winning resume to, meron akong checklist. So go with me, no, with all these checklists. Your checklist should include the following. Number 1, kailangan mag-stand out ka. When you look for a job, you have to be able to stand out. Because if you're not going to be able to stand out, then I think you'll just be part of the crowd. You'll be one of the next applicant na wala lang, na hindi mapapansin. Another thing that should be in your checklist is that you should only have one file. Hindi dapat maraming files na iba-iba sinesend sa mga companies. Mas maganda, isang file lang para pag sinend mo, lahat ng details mo nandoon na. Another thing in your checklist is that it should make the process more efficient. Ibig sabihin, mas mabilis mag-submit, mas mabilis makita ng HR, at mas mabilis kayo makontak for possible next steps na or possible job offer na. Now, another thing in my checklist is that dapat tipid ito, wala tong gastos. The tool that I will show you today, wala itong gastos. Libre po ito. At higit sa lahat, itong pinaka-importante sa lahat, this should be in your checklist. The tool should be secured. Okay? More than anything, importante talaga ang data. Pero ang data ninyo, dapat yung protectionan. And using this tool, this is the most secured resume kung tawagin. Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Let me go through the next slides na. Okay? Ito ang tinatawag na resume link. Okay? A personalized URL for anyone can open online anytime. I will use an example para makarelate kayo. If you are John Santos, ang link mo or resume link mo pwede maging johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. At yan na po ang resume link nyo. So how do you make one? Go with me through the 3 simple steps. First step is you have to register. Absolutely, wala tong bayad. Libre po ito. How do you register? You go to the website of jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com at dun ka mag-register on the upper right side of your screen. Now, as you do that, you have to put the basic information. Okay? So, alam nyo na ano mga information yan. Hindi ko na isa-isahin. Babawasan nyo naman at alam nyo naman ano dapat ilagay. Now, as you create your account, you have to use a valid email. Okay? Now, before we go to the email, paalala ko lang, sa mga nag-isip sa inyo, paano kung hindi ako si John Santos, ano gagawin kong resume link? O yan, baka nag-isip kayo eh. So, if ever lang, mayroon kang kapangalan, okay, just so happen na may ibang John Santos na nauna sa inyo, ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon doon na red na box, sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Huwag kayong malungkot. Pag taken na, okay lang, just be creative. Pwede mo gawin, baliktarin mo. Gawin mo santosjohn.jobs180.com o kaya J Santos o kaya Santos J o kaya JS o kaya SJ. Depende kung ano gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapangalan. Okay? Wala kang kapareho. Now, when you do this, huwag kayong OA. Do not create yung mga ganong klaseng over-creative na mga resume link because it doesn't look professional. Imagine submitting to a company with your resume link that says eljablo.jobs180.com. Hindi yan mukhang professional. Okay? Now, when you register, please use a valid email. Ito yung emphasis ko lang sa pag-create nyo ng account na dapat gamitin yung email, yung nabubuksan yung email, kagaya ng Gmail, Yahoo, or any email na nabubuksan nyo. Do not create, example lang yung mga email na kagaya ng ganito, patricia@facebook.com na email, Huwag kang gagamit ng joseph@facebook.com na email to register. In short, huwag mong gagamitin yung @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com na email, you will no longer be able to receive notification being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Importante po na nabubuksan nyo yung email nyo kasi kailangan mo i-verify yung account mo. Okay? It is very important that you verify your account as a proof na ikaw nag-register at pangalawa, para ikaw yung makapag-apply. If you don't do this, if you don't verify, walang mangyayari sa account nyo. Okay? So sayang lang. So you have to verify to finish the first step. Okay? How do you verify? Just open your email, look for the link, click mo yung verify, you're done with the first step. Okay? Tapos na yung first step. Ano yung first step? Register. Wala tong bayad. Let's go to the second step. Ang second step, ang pinaka-logical sa lahat. Kailangan kumpleto ang detalye nyo. So how do you do that? You go back again to your account by going to the website of jobs180.com. This time, hindi mo kailangan mag-register. Ang gagawin mo, mag-login. Pag login mo, lagay mo dito yung email nyo or resume link nyo, kayo lang may alam yan, at lalo na yung password nyo na kayo lang talaga may alam yan. So when you do that, you now go inside your account. Pag nasa loob na kayo ng account nyo, ano gagawin nyo? Mabilis na lang ito. Fill in the blanks. Okay? Now, I don't have to go through all the information here because definitely, alam mo naman pag sinabi ditong name, malamang pangalan nyo. Pag nakalagay dito address, malamang address nyo. Diba? So you put all the information ninyo dito. Okay, lagay nyo. Then, what else do you put in here? Importante po, lagay dito lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media account nyo. Diba? Hindi lang email tsaka phone number. Bakit? Most of the time, ano nangyayari? Okay, let me tell you. Marami sa inyo nilalagay nyo phone number nyo. Pero pag tinatawagan kayo ng HR, hindi nyo sinasagot. Lalo na pag hindi mo kilala. Hala, sino kaya ito? Hindi mo sasagutin. Diba? Kasi takot kayo, baka nagsascam or whoever yung tumatawag. So ano mangyayari sa mga HR? Mag-i-email kami ngayon sa inyo. But you don't open email more often than you open your social media account. So I recommend lahat ng posibleng paraan na pwede ka makontak na isang HR, ilagay mo dito. Kagaya ng mga Facebook nyo or Twitter nyo para mabilis tayo makapag-PM. Private message, makapag-invite for the next step. Okay? What else do you put here? You also put here your work options, yung mga work experience nyo. Pagdating po sa work options, you can see on the screen, you have 4 options na pwede nyo pagpilian. Parang switch lang yan. Yes, no switch, on, off switch. So you can choose here, example, looking for OJT, lagay mo yes if you're looking for OJT right now. And later on, pag hindi na, turn it off. Hindi lagay mo na no. Diba? So depende yan kung anong mas trip nyo or anong mas pasok dun sa hinahanap nyo right now. What the system will do is it will try to match you with companies who are also looking for the same profile with what you have. Yan yung kagandahan ng tool natin. Hindi mo kailangan mag door-to-door para mag-submit ng resume link ninyo. Okay? What else do you put here? You put here your school under education. Even later on, okay, pagka-graduate nyo, you can also put here your schools. Yung mga nag-take pa kayo ng further studies, pwede mo rin ilagay dito. Okay, so walang limit sa space yan. Pagdating po sa seminars attended, ganun din. Kahit gano'ng karami, pwede nyo ilagay dito. Kahit magkopyahan pa kayo. Just make sure lang alam mo yung seminar na yon. Kaya baka matanong ka sa interview. Pagdating po sa certification, ganun din. Put all the certification programs that you've had, you put it here. Okay? When it comes to the achievement, do not limit your achievement only inside the school. Hindi lahat na nakikinig ngayon ay Dean's Lister. Hindi kayo lahat dito ay honor student. Diba? Ayan, nag-agree marami sa inyo. So, hindi lang po ang achievement nakabase sa academic excellence. Some of you are student leaders. So, if you're active sa school, you also put it here kung ano yung mga pinagkakaabalahan nyo. And hindi lang sa loob ng school, even outside the school. If you're active in your barangay, halimbawa, isa kang tanod, ilagay mo dyan. Diba? Yan yung mga achievement ninyo. So, you put it here. Bakit? Because what you're doing now is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to that prospective company. Okay? Now, when it comes to the skills and languages, ito yung common observation namin mga HR. Pagdating sa skills, nilalagay mo lang na skills yung mga umiikot lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat communication arts ang course mo, com arts lang ang skills na alam mo. Hindi porkat engineering ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-engineering. Hindi porkat tourism or HRM ang course mo, ang alam mo lang na skill ay pang-tourism at pang-HRM. Maybe some of you are into multimedia, into photography, into videography, into something else, arts, crafts, whatever. Lahat ng yan, skills nyo yan. Remember, what you're doing here is you're marketing yourself more effectively. Kaya kung ako sa inyo, ilagay mo dito lahat ng skills na alam ninyo. Pagdating po sa languages, ganun din. Huwag mong ilimit yan sa 2 lengguwahe lang. Because I'm sure alam nyo na yung 2. Kung dalawa lang talaga alam nyo, din dalawa lang. Ano tong dalawang to? English and Tagalog or Filipino. Okay? Now, if you know other local dialect, Bisaya, Kapampangan, Sabacano, Ilonggo, you can also put it here. If you know foreign languages, German, French, Chinese, Japanese, diba, Korean, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? Walang limit sa space yan. When it comes to the references, sigurado ko yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang malaking tanong dito kayo ba'y kilala nila? Sana oo, di ba? Kasi madalas pag tumatawag kami sa mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. So please tell them, ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now at this point, to make your life easier, kung sakali lang nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo in your Word file or maybe in your doc file, depende kung anong file nyo, PDF file, whatever file you have. Kung nakagawa ka na ng resume nyo, simple na lang. Just copy all the information inside dito. Now, ilagay mo sa loob ng resume link. Just transfer them here inside the resume link para maging secured yung data nyo. Okay? Kung bakit secured, I'll tell you as we go along. Okay? So, yung mga sinabi ko, I think alam nyo na yan. Alam nyo na yan. Okay? Itong mga susunod kong papakita, ito yung mga amazing na portion. Let me start with the portfolio section. Ano yung portfolio section? This is the part where you now upload evidence of your skills. Example, ano yung ebidensya na graduate na kayo later on? Diploma. Diba? Transcript. Ano pa? Toga? Hindi ebidensya yung toga. Okay? Kung ano man meron nyo, diba? Certificate, diploma, yan. Ebidensya yan. Okay? Kung transcript of records is evidence na graduate na kayo. Ano ebidensya na wala kayong criminal record? NBI clearance, police clearance, diba? Ano ebidensya na pwede ka pumunta sa ibang bansa? Passport, visa, lahat ng mga sinasabi mong mga skills mo or yung mga what you're claiming that you know, you can now support them here sa portfolio section by showing those documents. Diba? Anong ebidensya na ikaw ay healthy? Meron kang medical clearance. Anong ebidensya na pwede kang mag-drive ng sasakyan? Meron kang driver's license. Diba? So gets nyo na yung sinasabi ko. Ang point ko lang is you can now put the things here to support yung claim nyo of your skills. Now, you're starting to think, Sir, kung pare-pareho naman kaming graduate sa school namin, pare-pareho kami magkakaklase, same yung course namin, same yung school, same yung teacher, same yung curriculum, pare-pareho lang naman kami lahat, walang experience sa trabaho, how will we stand out? Ayan, di ba? Okay, ito ngayon yung isang magandang recommendation ko sa inyo on how you now stand out. You get your smartphones. Kunin mo yung mga smartphones nyo. Kung wala, manghiram sa kaibigan. Okay, hiram mo sa kaibigan mo. I-record mo yung selfie video mo. You say something interesting about yourself. Record it in about 30 seconds to 1 minute lang. Huwag na masyadong mahaba. Ano gagawin mo? Pretend that you are being interviewed by the HR. So you answer basic questions like, tell me something about yourself. O, di ba? Ano yung mga gasgas sa tanong natin? Why should we hire you? O, di ba? Just imagine na tinanong ka ng HR at sasagutin mo na lang siya. Ang maganda lang ngayon, recorded mo. So kung di mo type yung sagot, edi-delete mo. Pag-type mo, you save it. Then you upload it sa YouTube or sa Vimeo. Maraming mga video channel na libre, mga video converter sa online. Hanapin mo lang. And when you're done, you put that video link doon sa portfolio section nyo. O, di ba? This time, it will definitely make you stand out because depende na to sa diskarte mo on how you're going to present yourself. Okay? So I leave it up to you on how you do that. Now, another thing for you to do, na sure akong hindi to makokopya ng classmate mo, ay yung picture mo. Diba? So you put your profile picture here. Now, when it comes to the picture, hindi kailangan sobrang formal na formal. Hindi kailangan pumunta sa studio. Huwag na kayo gumastos. Ang importante dito, tumingin kayo sa camera. Plain background. Okay? Plain background, tumingin kayo sa camera. Wear something, of course. Wear something decent. Okay? Do not upload profile pictures that look like the right side of your screen. Yung mga sample na yan, hindi po maganda example yan. Okay? So, huwag kayo maglagay ng magano'n kasi mga sample na profile picture. Now, another good thing pa that will make you stand out using the resume link is your cover photo. Yes. A picture paints 1,000 words. Yan ang kasabihan na very, very applicable dito. A lot of you who are listening today, hindi kayo gifted with writing skills. Hirap kayo i-express ang inyong feelings at inyong thoughts into words. Hindi mo ma-type, hindi mo ma-sulat. Tama? Hirap tayo eh. Bakit? Hindi natural sa atin yan. Pero pagdating sa picture, kaya mo i-express yung inyong personality. Look at the examples I'm showing you. Look at the one on the left. Ano siya? Isa siyang ophthalmologist or optometrist. Sabi naman ng iba, I expert. Di ba? Yung nasa kanan, ano siya? Sabi niyo iba, sir, parang IT. Sir, techie siguro kasi maraming gadget, pati stapler, gadget niya. Di ba? Halimbawa, o sabi ng iba naman, sir, parang makalat. O depende na kung how you are going to interpret it. But now, the way I see it, itong taong to, multitasker. Okay? Another good example I'm showing you is this one. Someone from psychology, someone from neurologies, or maybe someone who knows left and right. Ganun lang kasimple. No? So, depende yan how you're going to express yourself. Okay? Another good example pa, ito. Itong person na to, ang gusto niya sabihin, there's no shortcut to success. You will be able to reach your goal by taking one step at a time. O, di ba? So, I'm showing you good examples. Hindi yan member na Akit Bahay Gang. Hindi rin po yan social climber, in case that's what you're thinking. So, kung nagpakita ko ng magaganda example, I will also show you yung mga hindi magandang example para wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayo magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Make sure you put your picture there. Okay? Kasi maraming pangalan ngayon interchangeable. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako. Ako rin mismo, napagkakamala ko yung mga aplikante, pero nakita ko, Chris, George, Alex, Sam. O, diba? Minsan isipin ko, Joey, lalaki. Yung pala, babae. Diba? So you better put your picture there para at least alam ng HR who to expect. Okay? Now, when you make your resume link, dapat may laman talaga yan. Kasi kung walang laman yan, ganyan itsura niyan. Blanco. And how do you expect companies will look, or HR from companies will look at your profile if you submit to them resume links that look like this? It's like submitting a piece of a paper, bond paper, or long bond paper, short bond paper na walang laman except pangalan mo. And that's the same as this one. So hindi yan papansinin ng mga HR for sure. Okay? Sayang lang oras nyo tsaka oras ng HR. Kailangan attractive. Okay? And when I say attractive or catchy, do not overdo it naman. Now, this is just in my opinion. In my opinion, I think this one is not a good example. Kasi ang dating niya parang tamad. Parang happy-go-lucky. Parang chill-chill lang. No? Parang gano'n na dating. So, I leave it up to you on how you'll be expressing yourself na dito. Okay? So, sa mga personality nyo. Alam nyo na anong dapat nyo gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin. So, showing a very good example is si iExpert. Tignan mo, lahat ng detalye niya, kompleto. Everything from top to bottom, kompleto lahat ng details, including yung kanyang mga portfolio section na nagpapatunay na siya ay isang licensed ophthalmologist. Pinakita niya lahat ng mga posibleng hingiin pa sa kanya ng mga HR. So, bakit ko sinabi sa inyo na papabilis yung buhay dito? Hindi lang buhay nyo. Pati buhay rin ng HR napapabilis. Because once you submit all this information to that company, when the HR opens your resume link and sees everything about you, dalawa lang ang pwedeng mangyari niyan. One is, nahuli mo attention, gusto ka niya ngayon kausapin or schedule for the next step, like interview or possibly job offer, or hindi ka nag-fit. Yun yung second. Diba? Para at least, ang maganda rito, hindi na pabalik-balik, hindi na siya tatawag para sabihin, hello ma'am, meron ka bang evidence na graduate ka na talaga sa school na yan? Can you send me your transcript? Diba? Can you send me yung mga evidence or yung mga sample skills or sample work mo kasi you are in IT or in graphic design? Diba? Gets yung maibig ko sabihin. Huwag nang pabalik-balik, sayang yung oras. Okay? Time is of the essence. Lalo na ngayon. So you put everything there, at least pag nakita ng HR, diretso na kagad sa pag-process sa inyo. Okay? A lot of you are now thinking, Sir, pag gumawa ako ng resume link at nilagay ko lahat ng information ko dyan, baka naman yung mga data ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman yung mga information ko nakalantad na sa buong internet. The answer is, no. Kaya nga siya tinawag na the most secured resume. Okay? Bakit siya tinawag na most secured resume? Because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings. Follow the screen. Inside your dashboard, when you log in, you can go to your settings. Sa settings mo, to be specific, puntahan mo yung privacy settings. In your privacy settings, you choose the information that you want to show in public. Halimbawa lang you do not want to show your birthday. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita yung address mo. What do you do? Turn it off. Ayaw mo pakita ang inyong references. What do you do? Turn it off. So lahat na naka-off, hindi lalabas sa public. At sino may control niyan? Kayo lang. O, di ba? Ang maganda pa rito, real-time update yan. Halimbawa, today, you decide not to show your birthday, your address, and references. And then 5 minutes later, you decide, sige, pakita ko na nga birthday ko. Turn it on. Real time. 5 minutes later, the moment you save your settings, lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link, updated na rin sila real time. As in real time. Di ba? Ayos, di ba? Sige, tuloy natin. Tuloy pa natin to. So, reminders ko na lang sa mga late na dumating or kakakinig lang, when you make your resume link, make sure that your profile is interesting and attractive. Okay? Wag OA. Iba yung over naman yun. No? Wag naman ganun. So, make sure it's attractive, it's catchy. Complete all the information, especially your contact details. Kasi sayang naman lahat ng ginawa mo, nahuli mo attention, hindi ka makontak ng HR. So, better make sure nandyan yung mga contact details na updated. Okay? So, yan. So, tapos na tayo sa 2 steps. Last step na lang. Ano yung first step? Recap lang. First step is register. Wala tong bayad. Libre po yan. Second step is for you to complete the information. Yan ang pinaka-logical. And the last step now is for you to submit. So, you're now thinking, okay ito paano ko gagamitin ngayon yung resume link? Bigyan kita ng iba-ibang paraan. Okay, lahat ito practical application para makarelate kayo. Unang option, pumunta ka sa website ng jobs180.com. That's www.jobs180.com, and that's where you now start to look for companies. Type the companies that you're looking for. Pag may lumabas, edi good. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Okay, huwag din pilitin. Okay? Now, you can also see there a lot of companies, a lot of company logos that you can shop around, you can choose, learn about the company, and if you want to be part of the company, I recommend you submit your resume link kahit na hindi ka pa qualified. Let me repeat what I just said. If you want to be part of an organization, if you want to be part of that company, even if you are not yet qualified, I recommend you give your resume link to that company. Bakit? Imagine, kung ngayong hapon, ngayong araw, nag-submit ka ng resume link sa isang kumpanya na naghahanap ng 3 years experience na aplikante. Wala ka pang 3 years experience. Okay lang. Because nabigay mo na yung resume link mo sa kanya, pagdating ng 2024, siguro naman by that time, meron ka ng 3 years experience, di ba? Kasi nag-work ka na ngayon by 2021. By 2024, may 3 years experience ka na, pwede ka na ma-qualify dun sa position in-applyan mo. And you never know. That company might just contact you later on, provided that your details are still updated. So you have to update those information real time. Ayos ba? Ayos, di ba? Wala nang pabalik-balik. Hindi mo na kailangan magbalik-balik dun sa kumpanya para sabihin, nag-apply po ko sa inyo last year. Ako po yung OJT nyo 3 months ago. Wala nang ganun. Okay? Another practical application. When you submit your resumes through email, how do you do that? Madalas, ito ginagawa natin. Mag-email tayo, sasabihin natin, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. Ano gagawin nyo? I-attach mo yung Word file mo or PDF file mo. Tama? If that is how you're doing it, wag mo nang gawin yon. Wag ka na mag-attach ng anything sa email. Pampabagal lang yan, tsaka makaluma na yung style na yan. Bakit ko sinabi yon? Kasi hindi mo na kailangan talaga mag-attach ng anything. Ang gagawin mo, i-type mo na lang doon sa email mo yung resume link mo. Example, Dear HR Manager, I would like to apply for the following position. And this is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, 01.jobs180.com. That's it. Submit. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you. Send. Every time meron kang babaguhin sa details mo, hindi mo na kailangan padalhan yung HR. Kasi kung ginagamit mo mga attachment, ang kulit niyan ang kulit, saka nakapagod. Ano gagawin mo pag nagbago ka ng phone number? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated resume. Mamaya-maya, 2 weeks later, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Dear HR Manager, this is now my updated, most recent resume. O diba? Every time meron kang babaguhin, padala ka na padala doon sa HR. Nakapagod yan, hindi lang sa part nyo, kundi sa part din namin sa mga HR to keep track which one yung pinaka-updated na details. So this time, wala na kailangan. Palit-palit na lang kayo ng details nyo, update-update na lang sa loob ng resume link. Ayos ba? Ayos pa. Okay, tuloy pa natin to. Okay? If you want to print your resume, this is now the good news. You can now print your resume link. No matter how much information you have, the system will try to compress everything into one page. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-print ng papel at mag-submit sa mga kumpanya, walang kaso. Pumunta ka lang sa dashboard mo, hanapin mo yung print na option at mamili ka kung 1 column or 2 column version ang gusto mo i-print. What the system will do is it will try to compress everything into 1 page para tipid na. O, di ba? Now, usapang tipid. Ito mas tipid pa. Gusto mo mag-print ng resume pero gusto mo magtipid. Itong gawin mo. Gumawa ka ng resume link card. Ano tong resume link card? Sa isang pirasong long bond or short bond paper, mag-design ka ng maraming resume link card. No, maliliit lang, parang business card ang dating. In 1 piece of paper, I think you can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa size ng papel mo. At ang importante lang ilagay mo dyan sa resume link card mo ay syempre ang inyong resume link. Diba? So, hindi mo na kailangan ilagay lahat ng details mo sa resume sa loob ng maliit na papel. Lagay mo lang resume link mo. And that is what you now give to the companies when you start applying. Look at the picture I'm showing you. Diba? Tipid. Hindi lang tipid. Secured pa. Tingnan nyo. If you submit yung big paper resume nyo, long bond paper, sinubmit mo sa isang kumpanya, nag-apply ka. For some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Yung nakapulot ng papel na yan, alam na buong detalye mo because everything is in that 1-page printout. Now, if you lose that small piece of paper, don't worry. Meron kang peace of mind. Bakit? Yung mga kapulot niyan, limited sa privacy settings mo because you have the ultimate control over your privacy settings kahit na i-type niya yan sa browser. Okay? So, ang recommend ko rin sa mga nakikinig, use the gadget. Take advantage of the technology. Use your gadget, your laptop, your cell phone, your tablet, kung ano man. Okay? Para ngayon kasi, with this day and age, technology na ang gamitin natin. Kung mano-mano pa rin kayo, wala kayong gadget, okay lang. Huwag kayong malungkot. You can still submit to the companies by just simply writing the resume link on a piece of paper. As simple as that. Okay? So, again, sa mga nagtatanong, ano yung mga guidelines ko para makagawa ako ng job-winning resume? Ito yung guideline ko. Ito yung checklist ko. Are you using the right tool? That's the ultimate question. There are so many tools right now, but these are the things that you should consider when you make your resume. And that is the resume link. It already addresses the following. Number 1, security ng information mo. I hope by this time, you have peace of mind. Ito na ang pinaka-secured na information because you have the ultimate control over your privacy setting. Pangalawa, the speed of hire becomes faster. It becomes more efficient because whatever you need, whatever the HR needs, you can already put it inside the resume link. Another thing is that it's flexible. If you want to print, just in case lang gusto mo talaga mag-print ng resume nyo, you have the option to print it. And you don't have to worry about saan ko sinave yung file na yan, saan ko tinago, wala nang ganun. Just log into your account and print. Mamili ka lang kung 1 column or 2 column version. At higit sa lahat, wala po itong bayad. Tipid po ito. Walang bayad. Okay? Ang kailangan mo lang, of course, internet. Sa mga nag-iisip sa inyo, sir, kailangan ko ng pan-data, pwede ka naman makakonect sa internet na walang data eh. Punta ka sa libreng wifi. Diba? Baka yung kapitbahay nyo may libreng wifi, o makagamit ka muna. Later on, pag may trabaho ka na, may sweldo na, bayaran mo yung wifi niya. O diba? Bawi-bawi lang yan. No? Give and take. And there are a lot more benefits to just what I've mentioned. Marami pang iba. You can share your resume link to whatever platform you want to share it to. Gusto mo i-text? Gusto mo siya i-private message? Gusto mo i-send via Viber? Kayo bahala. Pwede mo i-share. Basta kayo may control. Ganun lang kasimple. No? Kung hindi mo ito binigay sa kahit kanino, hindi malalaman to nung taong yon. And you don't have to save it to whatever USBs or hard drive. No need na. Wala rin tong mga tipong version na kailangan pa mag-compatible. Walang ganun. Lahat ito compatible. Pwede lahat. Okay? So, shout out na lang ako. Shout out to all our school partners. By the grace of God, right now we have about 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide, including your alma mater. So, thank you. We're very thankful for this opportunity that we're able to do this kahit tayo nasa loob ng bahay, kahit kayo ay nasa loob ng bahay. So, hindi tayo physically nagpe-present, pero nakakatulong pa rin tayo. Especially if you have friends or relatives whom you think would need this tool, please share this to them. Okay? Sa mga nagtatanong naman ng mga frequently asked questions, sasagutin ko na. Ito kasi yung mga common questions na kadalasan tinatanong sa akin. Ang tanong, can I give my resume link to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. It depends kung sino ang bibigyan mo. Ikaw may ultimate control niyan. Okay? Pangalawang question, is this the same as other job platform like LinkedIn, JobStreet, iba pang mga job site? The answer is no. Meron tong dalawang major difference. Yes. Lalo na pagdating sa security. Okay. Of course, explain lang ako Okay. With respect to the other sites that I've mentioned, let me just use JobStreet as an example para lang mas makarelate, no? Para makarelate. You can only use JobStreet resume if you're applying to companies who are also using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. With your resume link, you can use this to any type of company, any platform, wherever they are. Kahit sa loob ng Pilipinas or sa labas ng Pilipinas, pwede mong applyan. Kahit hindi niya alam ang Jobs 180, basta alam niya ang resume link mo, pwede niya mabuksan ang profile at makita according to your settings. That's the first difference. Pangalawang difference, kung nabigay mo na, kung na-submit mo na ang JobStreet resume mo sa isang company, wala ka nang pwedeng baguhin. Lahat ng data mo nandun na yan sa HR. Yes. Hindi na magbabago yan real time. With your resume link, na-submit mo today, mali pala number mo, na-submit mo today, mali pala yung spelling mo, you can always edit it. Enter, save it. Real-time update. Lahat ng binigyan mo ng resume link updated real-time. Ayos? Okay, tuloy tayo sa number 3 question. Number 3 question is the easiest question. Ang tanong dito is, can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time, na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na platform. Okay? That's the reason why I'm sharing this to you. Okay? Number 4, I think this is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? Ang sagot dito, hindi araw-araw, hindi linggo-linggo, hindi buwan-buwan, hindi taon-taon. Ang sagot dito ay every time. Every time na meron kayong babaguhin, lalo na ang contact details nyo. Yan ang importante. You have to update your contact details every time na meron kayong papalitan doon. Kasi yan yung paraan para makontak kayo ng mga companies. And the last question is just a trivia. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around. Yan, di ba? 180 degrees. Hindi siya 360. Kasi kung 360, bumalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Di balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang, balik-balik ka lang. Di wala nangyari. Di ba? So you have to do it 180 degrees. It's a straight line towards your career goal. Okay? Just in case may tanong pa kayo, nahiya magtanong, pumunta lang kayo sa website namin, sa jobs180.com, or email us, email me, here sa info@jobs180.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram para makakuha kayo ng mga latest trends in recruitment. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chu Wa. Don't forget yung Wa. Okay? Baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. Na nagsasabing, be safe at isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. Ayan. So, Sir Kim, thank you for your talk. Sir, I just have, so the floor is open. So, you guys, if you have questions for Sir Kim, you can ask it now. But, Sir, I reserved the question for you. Sir, can they use their Google email addresses, the one that's yung registered sa kanila? Can they use that? Or do you have other recommendations?
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Shari. So guys, for those who are listening, that in case lang you used your Google account, yung Gmail account ninyo sa Google Classroom or Google G Suite sa school, I recommend you edit it, you register, di ba? Dalawa lang naman naka-register na kayo na gamit nyo yung account na yon. If you did, what I recommend is you edit it now, you change it to your personal email. Okay, that's my recommendation. Kung hindi ka pa kayo naka-register, please use your personal email to register for resume link. And the reason is because later on, when you graduate, definitely naman gagraduate naman kayo, di ba? Sooner or later, sigurado gagraduate kayo. Now, when you graduate, ang concern ko is baka lang hindi nyo na magagamit yung inassign na account sa inyo, yung G Suite na account nyo, yung Google Classroom account nyo. Baka lang kung hindi nyo na magagamit yan, just so we're sure, no? Whether magamit nyo or hindi, baka kasi hindi nyo na magamit Pag hindi nyo na magamit, then you might not be able to receive notifications from the companies anymore. So my best solution, best recommendation at this point is, if you have not yet registered for your resume link, use your personal email to register. Para wala ka na isipin later on na kailangan ko papalitan or kailangan ko pa i-edit. Now, just in case lang naka-register na kayo, nakagawa na kayo, at yun ang ginamit mong email, yung inassign ng school na email para sa inyo, then you can go to your account, to your Jobs 180 dashboard, edit, okay? Edit that email, change it to your personal email, just so you don't have to worry about changing it anymore later. Okay? So I hope na-answer ko yung sagot ni Ma'am Shari.
Alright. So
Ay,
thank you for
question
that,
pala.
sir. Ayan. Okay na, sir. Okay na. Ayan. So, sir, since these are graduating students, can you please tell us kung ano po yung mga positions at na pwede nilang i-explore doon sa site?
Oh, there's actually a lot of vacancies, no? Right now, sobrang dami. There's too many to mention. So, ang recommend ko, puntahan nyo lang po yung school portal ninyo, and then you check it out, or you go to the website of jobs180.com, www.jobs180.com, and then you explore for opportunities. Now, you can search for the area. There's a lot of opportunities there in Pampanga. Kung ayaw nyo naman sa Pampanga, just in case you're exploring also outside of Pampanga, marami rin pong mga ibang opportunities na nandyan. Now, I recommend as well that if you have the chance to talk to some companies, some employers, you might want to ask na rin if there are any available opportunities in the area of your preference. O, di ba? Halimbawa, you want to be in Bicol, di ba? Because you have some relatives there after you graduate, you want to stay there, or you're staying in Cebu, halimbawa lang, no? You explore, tanungin nyo lang yung mga companies, no, sa mga possible opportunities, and I'm sure they will be able to provide you with those information. Okay?
Alright, so thank you for that, sir. Guys, we have invited companies later, so they will be talking about these vacancies mamaya. Alright? Thank you, Sir Kim. We hope to see you for other events po in the future. So thank you, sir.
Alright, thank you. Be safe. Be safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Alright, so thank you for that, Sir Kim. So let's go to our second topic. So our speaker is Mr. Mark Perry Badilla. He is the Corporate Talent Acquisition Manager for Taskas. He graduated from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila with a bachelor's degree in mass communications, and he has 17 years of experience in the BPO industry, with 12 years of those in the recruitment and training. Ayan. So Sir Mark, if you're available, please stream us na. Please join us in our stream po. So good morning, sir. Ayan. So sir, I believe you have something to show us.
That's correct. Yep.
Sige, sir. Sharing the screen lang po.
12 years ago, two friends set out with $20,000 of their savings and built a virtual assistant company for startups on top of a mechanics shop. They named their company TaskUs. Thanks to everyone's hard work and providing teammates the best employee experience, TaskUs grew and spread across the globe. All were empowered with a mission to provide innovation and world-class services to the world's most disruptive companies. Finally, we are proud to announce our new look. We are moving beyond the blue. We have always embodied thinking outside of the box, and now we are stepping out of the chat box. Our new look reflects the evolved TaskUs, the company and culture that we have become. The new TaskUs logo reflects us and our commitment to inclusivity and togetherness, meaning us and you together. As one icon, the elements represent the digital prowess of our amazing teammates to reflect the array of services we provide today.
As a new industry approaches, let us reintroduce ourselves to the world.
Count on us to step up and continue to evolve as a company that can finally answer the call for protecting what matters most to those who count on us.
Finally, an organization that puts people before profits. Refreshing, smart, creative,
and true.
That's TaskUs.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Assumptionists. And thank you, Cherie, for the invitation. And thank you, Jobs180.com, for the invitation this morning. So my name is Mark Perry Badilla. You may call me Perry. I'm one of the corporate talent acquisition manager of Taskas Philippines. So as you can see on your screen today, what we're going to talk about is how to have a ridiculously good virtual interview. All right, so this is a very, if you notice, this is a very different type of seminar that we usually conduct for fresh graduates, because pre-COVID-19 pandemic, most of the time the recruiters like myself always speak with the different fresh or upcoming fresh graduates to talk about or to give them tips on how to become successful in a face-to-face interview. But right now, if you notice, what we're gonna be focusing on more is how to do an interview through a different virtual platform. So before anything else, I would like to greet all of the Assumptionists. Happy Wellness Day. I saw on your Facebook profile that you do not have a class today. And thank you very much for almost over 100 students who are watching us right now on the jobs180.com Facebook page. And I can see on the University of Assumption Facebook page that we already have more than 240 students who are watching our live show. So before we start, you still have a chance to share the link on your different social media platforms, so that you can, your friends can also join in the fun and learn from the different sessions that you are going to have today. So again, good morning to the students of BS Accountancy, BS Information Technology, Bachelor in Human Services, and BS Psychology, and all of the other courses that have joined us today this morning. So as you can see on the video that was shown earlier, it is an overview of who is Taskas. So here at Taskas, we actually pride ourselves as one of your not typical BPO by design. So our culture is a direct reflection of our people as a collective spirit. We are the only BPO that supports the most innovative brands in the world while making a positive impact on those around us. As you can see also on your screen, we do say and we pride ourselves that at least 5 apps on your mobile phones right now are powered by Taskas, and they are most likely one of your most favorite apps. We call our team members ridiculous humans, and they are based in over a dozen locations across the globe. But here in the Philippines, we have 9 different offices, including what we call House Teamwork, and that is the name of our site at Clark Freeport Zone. All right, so we could go ahead and go straight to the point and start our discussion for this morning. So the gentleman that I am showing on your screen right now is Mr. Francis Kong, and he is one of the most respected business leaders here in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, he has conducted a series of web series with our leaders in Taskas called Taskas 121 to talk about how ridiculously good our culture here at Taskas. So if you have time, guys, go to our YouTube channel, search for Taskas, and look for Taskas 121 to learn more about our culture based from the perspective of our different leaders. But why am I showing the photo of Mr. Francis Kong right now? And the reason why I'm sharing his photo is because of the quote that he once said that is very relevant to our discussion right now. And that is, every professional and expert began as beginners. So guys, just like everybody else, just like the 100 students who are watching the live show right now, I myself was once a graduating student, and I was once, seen as the beginner in the workforce. So after I completed all of my school requirements, after I passed all of my examinations, after I've graduated, there was a time that I needed to prepare for the next milestone of my life, and that is really to jumpstart my career. And for us to be able to do that, of course, we must be able to be successful in the series of job interviews that we are going to go to, or we are going to go through. So as you notice, Mr. Kim Chua discussed about or taught everybody how to create a very effective resume. So as soon as you submitted that impressive resume to the different employers, the next stage would be to go through the different job interviews. But why are we really focusing more on virtual interviews and not face-to-face? Well, according to the LinkedIn 6 recruiting trends that will shape 2021, it says there that virtual recruiting is here to stay. Based on the study that was conducted by LinkedIn Insights, 81% of the talent professionals who've participated in the study actually agreed that virtual recruiting will even continue post COVID-19 pandemic. And 70% of the same participants of that study also said that the talent professionals rather who participated in the study said that virtual recruiting will become the new standard. So just like how, the academic institutions adjusted to the new normal brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic, and specifically for University of Assumption, you do have UA Flex, right? In the different organizations, this is how we also adjusted to the new normal, which is doing virtual interviews with all of our applicants. So what do you need to consider really when you go through virtual interviews? So the first thing really is to understand that in job interviews is really mainly about communication. But in communication, there are two types of communication. So one is verbal communication, and then second is non-verbal communication. So there is a gentleman named Edward Hall. He's a social anthropologist, and he mentioned that in a normal conversation between two persons, only less than 35% of the social meanings is actually transmitted by words. The rest of it, 65%, is conveyed through non-verbal channels. So what are the nonverbal channels? So the nonverbal channels or modes of communication would be facial expression, tone of voice, movement, appearance, eye contact, gesture, and posture. The most common mistakes of newbies who are going through a job interview is that they're more nervous about how they're gonna communicate verbally compared to how they are communicating during job interview through nonverbal. And that is really what we're going to talk about today. Okay. By the way, while I go through my presentation right now, we will have a Q&A after my talk. So if you do have a question specifically on one of the slides or one of the topics that I'm going to discuss right now, you could just go ahead and take note of them and then put them on the chat so that we can catch them right away. All right, so the first thing to remember really is that optics really matter. So always make sure that you are in a quiet place that is conducive for an interview. So most likely, you are going to take the interview at home. So always make sure that you are in a workspace that is free from distractions or background noise. Based on experience, there are plenty of viral videos right now and funny videos or stories about family members or friends popping in the background of video interviews and meetings, and you wouldn't really you wouldn't really add your interview to that, right? So in order to really make sure that this does not happen to you, what we usually advise to our students or to our applicants is that if you are not the only person in the household and you do have an interview, always make sure that the people in the household are very much aware of the schedule of your interview. So if your interview starts at 10, it ends at 11 a.m., always tell your the people that you live with that, okay, mom, dad, I have an interview, so I would really appreciate it if you don't, walk behind me while I'm on an interview between 10:45 and 11:15 a.m. And the reason, if you notice, I mentioned your interview starts at 10, it ends at 11, but you're actually telling your family members to not walk behind you starting 9:45 rather up to 11:15. There is really a reason for that later on. Okay, and we also do understand sometimes when you do a virtual interview, it's very important that you turn your video on, because that is the only way that the interviewer can see you, compared to really doing it face to face. And just like what I mentioned earlier, you will be more effective in communicating the message that you're trying to get across if you turn your video on, because just like what I mentioned, 65% of the communication or the messages that are being absorbed by the other or the listener is being absorbed through non-verbal communication. All right. Next would be do not be late. So this is a regular, this is already a given, right? That if you are going to have a job interview, always be on time. So in a regular setting, most of the time, we remind our applicants to always be mindful before going to our recruitment sites or our offices that they always need to allocate extra time to anticipate for traffic. But since you are going to do a virtual interview, then you don't have to worry about traffic anymore. But that doesn't really give you a reason to be late. So in order for you to not be late in a job interview, always make sure that you dial in on time. So I'm not sure what what type of video conferencing platform you're using in UA Flex, but here in Taskas, we usually use Zoom video conferencing or Google Meet for our virtual interviews, and sometimes it does not always launch or respond immediately. So you might suddenly get connection issues or errors. So it's better to always dial in at least 10 to 15 minutes before the schedule to give it ample time to load. We also advise our applicants that as much as possible, if you have time, do a tech run with your friend or your family members to see if your audio or video is working for a specific video conferencing that you will be using. All right, next slide is get your equipment up and ready. Check if your speaker or earphones and microphones are working. I've already discussed that from the previous slides. We just wanted to make sure that always have a second headset on hand, because you're not really sure if your first headset that you're using will actually fail you on the job during the job interview. And the next one, and this is very interesting, is to always dress for success. Dress and act professionally even during virtual interview. So we're pretty sure you have this down already, but since you're gonna go ahead and take the job interview at home, there are some applicants that are still, they fall into the trap of dressing too comfortably that might be strong since it's a video interview, right? So we've encountered a couple of applicants who attended a video interview wearing only their most comfortable or very too comfortable pambahay clothes, and we don't really want that. So before, usually fresh graduates are being told to always dress to impress. But right now, during the job interview, it's actually very important that you relay to the interviewer that you actually belong, and that includes how you dress up. So during my time, it's very difficult. During my time, the internet was just booming. We don't have social media, and it's actually very difficult to do research about the culture of different organizations that I'm interested in. Most of the time on the internet, back then, the information are only available through the organization's website. But today, since we are already in the social media age, there is a vast knowledge or vast information about an organization or about someone that is even at the tip of your fingertips. So what I usually advise to fresh graduates is that do your research. Like, go to the different social media platforms of the organization that you are interested to join, and look at the photos of the people who are working there. Are they wearing suits and ties, or are they more business casual, wherein they wear, they're not wearing suits, but they are wearing colored shirts. And the reason why I wanted to put, I advise to put an extra effort and an extra touch to look like you belong, is because it shows as a non-verbal cue that you actually did your research. You don't really want, for example, if an organization that you're trying to join is more of a relaxed organization, and you were wearing a suit during job interview, that might even be at your disadvantage. So always make sure that you do your research and look as if you already belong. All right, and then the next slide, of course, is always be prepared and be engaging during the job interview. So our interviewers enjoy engaging with our applicants, and we very much would love to hear your stories, but they also love to get questions out of you. So in order for someone to be successful in a job interview, first of all, I always advise graduating students to always relax, okay? It's a misconception during a job interview that it is only the job of the applicant to impress the employer, which I don't personally believe that. I believe that job interview is both a shared responsibility of the applicant and the employer. So the applicant, of course, you guys must be able to effectively convey during the interview that you are fit for the role, that you can do the role. But at the same time, it is also the responsibility of the employer to make you realize that they are the right employer for you to jumpstart your career. It's also very important to know and to prepare for the type of questions that you will go through depending on which level of interview you're already at. So here at TaskUs, we do have different stages of recruitment as a standard, but it changes depending on the client that you will be profiled for. But as a standard, it starts with usually a first interview with the recruiter, and then there's going to be an assessment that will assess your English proficiency. Third will be an interview with a hiring manager, and then the final interview. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it does not, but the last stage would be the final interview. So the type of questions that you will be asked will depend on which level of interview you are already at. So the first interview, most of the time, the recruiters would go ahead and check the basics in terms of your qualification. So let's say, for example, Are you a graduate? Like, what course are you from? Are you amenable to work at this type of schedule? And then is it going to be a problem for you in terms of if we ask you to be on site, or if your account is work from home, do you have the hardware and internet connection to support that? And then, of course, there's the assessment, and then the interview. The second interview is really more of talking about the specifics of your competency, and at the same time, your culture fit. And then the final interview is really more of a validation of all of the notes of the interviewers that you have gone through. So make sure during the final interview that your answers during the final interview are the same with the answers that you have given during your initial and second level of interview. So basically that's it. I think I've already reached 20 minutes that is assigned to me. And Cherie, I believe we're gonna go to the next part of the presentation, which is the Q&A portion.
Thank you for that so much, Sir Perry. Ayan. So guys, we are open for questions. So if you have questions for us, for Sir Perry, please post it in our comment section. So habang nag-iisip kayo, sir, may question na po ako. So sir, while the job seekers or the candidates are going through their application, maybe know lang po the timeline that the company is following. For example, from first interview down to onboarding. Once they're finished na po with the all of the interviews and all of the assessment.
When we say timeline, like how long does it take for an applicant to stay at one stage and move on to another? Is that what you're asking? Yes. So most of the time it takes 24 to 48 hours. It varies, but as a standard, it takes 24 hours to 3 days in order for you to move to the next stage. But it also varies depending on how niche the role is, or how many, depending on how many applicants applied for the role. So let's say, for example, for a role that doesn't really require a very specific certification, let's say you don't really have to pass a certain bar exam. Most of the time, there are a lot of applicants there. So the recruiters would take more time to really finish off the applications before you get moved to the next stage. But if the role is more of a niche role and it requires a technical profile or a certification for a specific skill, most of the time, the pool of applicants are very small. So it's very quick. The turnaround time is very quick. But in TaskUs, you can usually, or you will already know the status of your application within 24 to 48 hours. Either the recruiter will call you, or you will receive a text message or an email message from the recruiter from TaskUs.
All right, so thank you for that, sir. Sir, my next question I think would be regarding what you call this, requirements or valid government the things that you need, sir, before they go on onboarding. So right now, sir, siguro kasi fresh grad po sila, so they do you require those valid IDs and government NBI clearance, mga ganun, sir, do you require them to present it immediately before they go onboarding, or is it to follow thing?
So most of the beauty in TaskUs is that we do have a very efficient process and background investigation process. So we don't usually require, compared to the other organizations, we don't usually require NBI clearance, especially for, because we understand also it's a struggle for fresh graduates, right? To acquire multiple clearances or ID. So we wanted to at least minimize those requirements for our candidates, and we just take care of the background investigation. But in terms of preparation for the onboarding, I think what I can tell, and this is specifically for our organization, is to ensure that you're ready with your character references, because that's one of the things that we are going to ask from you. Accomplish all of the checklist and the documents that are provided in the checklist that the recruiter will provide the candidates, and then make sure that you undergo your pre-employment examination as soon as possible. To make it short, really, Cherie, what I'm really saying is that once you get on the onboarding stage, the fresh graduates don't really have to worry, because TaskUs recruiters are very much trained to provide and assist our potential hires to have a very successful onboarding process.
All right, so thank you for that, Sir Perry. So guys, repeating if there are no questions from the audience, making sure guys na wala na kayong ihahabol for Sir Perry. Ayan, so if you have questions and you're shy, you can message us on Facebook and we'll make sure that it will get to the TaskUs team. All right, so if wala na kayong questions, may we invite you guys to send your resume links or explore vacancies for TaskUs. It's available at the link. It's jobs180.com/taskus. You can find it on the ticker below. And for Sir Perry, again, on behalf of Jobs 180 team and the University of Assumption team, we'd like to thank you again for being with us for this morning and for sharing your knowledge and expertise with our audience. So thank you, sir.
Thank
we
you
hope to
again,
see you for
Cherie.
other sessions.
Yeah, thank
we
you
hope to
again,
see you
Cherie.
sir in other sessions po. All right.
Right.
So thank you, sir.
Thank-
Have a great day po.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Ayan. So for our next presenter, so for our last topic, we have Sir Mark Aurelio, HR Junior Executive from Cognizant Technology Solutions. Sir Mark graduated from the PUP back in 2015 with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Human Resource Development Management. So he joined Cognizant fresh from college as senior coordinator for the talent acquisition group, and has progressed as the campus and events channel lead, taking on junior executive functions. So he is young and a dynamic HR professional. Sir Mark has been recognized during the 2017 Gawad Silab Awards as Rookie of the Year, and 2018 High Club Awards, and 2019 Regional HR Gem Awards for going beyond boundaries. So Sir Mark, please join us po. Hi, sir. I just can't see your screen, sir. Hindi ko kayo makita, sir. Baka yung camera is turned off? Ayan, sir. Hi, sir. Good morning. Can you hear me well po? Hi, Sir
Shari,
Mark.
can you hear me?
Yes. Ayan. Sir, can we test
in and
your
out eh. Parang choppy ata sa wifi ko. Oo.
Hello? For a moment, we'll have Sir Mark fix his system. Ayan. So announcement. So guys, there will be an evaluation after this event. So if you finish this event, we will be posting the evaluation link on the comment section later, and we will flash it on the screen to make sure that you have secured your attendance and your ang tawag dito, evaluation for this event. Yeah. So again, we'd like to thank Ms. Leila from the University of Assumption for coordinating with us with regards to this activity, and we hope that this event is. Hi, sir.
Hi, sorry na disconnect.
Sir, you're back. Ayan. Sir, can we test sharing your screen?
Oh, sure.
And so as I was saying, so thank you guys, and we hope you learn a lot from this event. I'm sure you will learn more from Sir Mark later. So he will be discussing the qualities that the employers are looking for people who are applying, no? Especially dun sa context ng Cognizant na company. Right. So sir, I still can see your screen, sir. Ayan. Ayan, sir. Okay na po. It's up na po, sir.
Okay na?
So, sir, I'll give the
Alright.
floor to you. Yes, I'll be back for the Q&A po later. Thank you, Sir Mark.
Thank you, Shari. Okay, good morning, guys and gals. I hope all of you are staying safe in this pandemic. Mark here. I have been a recruiter for 5 years now, and in those years, I have learned a thing or two about hiring. So I'm here to share what I know with you. I'm also here to share or help you understand about Cognizant. I'm going to show you Cognizant growth and credentials, and I hope that you will find them as helpful as they have. Okay. Also, our agenda, I'll be giving top 4 soft skills in 2021 that you need before you go with your first interview. Okay, so to start, Cognizant is a market leader and it was founded in 1994. We are a US-based company, specifically in New Jersey, in Teaneck, which have 283,000 employees. So Cognizant is a leading provider of information technology, consulting, and business process outsourcing. In terms of business process services or BPS, we have big global footprints. So when we say big, we have delivery centers or global offices that support all operations in the region. So we have 270 plus global offices. Okay. We also support our clients using different languages. We hire Arabic, Korean, Japanese, Mandarin speakers. So if you know guys, someone or a friend, relative who can speak other language, they know how to read or write, they can apply to Cognizant. Okay. Also, despite of the global pandemic situation, we were able to increase our revenue by 4% year over year. Okay. Okay, who among you here are familiar with Fortune 500? You can comment familiar in the chat box if you're familiar. So for those students who are not familiar with Fortune 500, it's an annual list published and compiled by Fortune magazine, wherein they rank the 500 of the largest U.S. corporations in terms of revenue. Okay. So back in 2013, Cognizant ranked 352. And as we combined our passion for client satisfaction and technology innovation, we were able to take the 194th spot. 2020 in 12 years in a row. Okay. We're part of the top 100 digital companies in 2019. We are top 63. Okay. Same time, we're part of Forbes Global 2000. We're top 533. Okay. So let me ask you guys, are you ready to find the job of your dreams in 2021? So you'll be graduating. Some of you will be graduating in 1 or 2 months. So I hope you're ready to find the job of your dreams. So if you are ready to find the job of your dreams, you're going to need to know what are the skills are in demand now. So if you will Google that, it will turn out that soft skills or interpersonal skills are actually more valuable than technical skills or hard skills. Of course, if you are a fresh graduate, companies will not expect that you are 100% complete or your skill or hard skill is remarkable. But for the interview, aside from the hard skills, upon checking that you have the knowledge about the specific position or job, companies also check your soft skills. So it's more valuable than hard skills. So in this presentation, as I mentioned, I'll give you top 4 soft skills that companies are looking for in 2021. Okay, so sit down and listen all the way to the end, as this might be the most important presentation you've seen this year. Okay. So a big part of finding dream job is a big part of finding the dream job is demonstrating to the companies that you have the skills that they need. So it turns out, as I mentioned, soft skills or interpersonal skills are more important than technical skills, and that makes sense. Here's why: technical skills, because technical skills can be trained. I can always, for example, I can always teach someone how to be a recruiter, but I cannot teach them how to be a decent human being. Yeah, okay. For another example, a Filipino trained chef can teach you how to cook a perfect adobo, but the Filipino trained chef cannot teach you integrity. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is these our personality traits are intrinsic in an individual. It's not um, para if they are not necessarily something that can be trained, diba? Because it's intrinsic. So you have to decide on that. You have to reflect on that. And also, you need a guidance or a feedback for example, from your manager or from your teammates. Okay. So I remember there's a study that that all white collar office work is so similar that anybody could learn any job in any office uh, within 6 months. Okay, so intrinsic personality traits, however, cannot be learned. So you either have them or you don't. So now they can be strengthened, yes, they can be exercised. Over time, they can improve. So as I mentioned, with proper coaching and mentoring, they can be improved. So now, soft skills are very big, broad category. And when you're thinking about what skills you want to demonstrate, both in your resume and in your interview, and the answers that you give in the job interview, it's important to know what are the important skills are. So these are the top 4 skills. Okay. So soft skill number 1 is creativity or problem solving. Um, it's incredibly an important skill. I'm not necessarily talking about you're creative, you can draw, you can paint, etc. I'm talking about your thinking, your ability to think through problems, think differently, and see things for what they are and what they could be. Um, Creativity gives you the ability to think through a problem and find a better solution. So problem solving is an enormous skill in companies these days. And your creativeness will help you solve those problems without being constrained with procedure or process in the company. So the best way to train yourself on this kind of creativity is to always ask why. So why is the most important part? Are you doing something just because that's the always the way you've done it, or are you doing something because that is in fact the most efficient way to do it? So any process, any procedure that you've got at work, at school, always ask yourself, why I'm doing it this way, or is there a better way? Okay. So soft skills on number 2 is collaboration. I'd like to share four areas. Four areas to be a collaborative team player. So it requires a change in focus in 4 areas. So number 1 would be perception. So perception, you must see teammates or your classmate as collaborators and competitors. You you will notice, di ba, yung sa magkakapatid, siblings fight for their parents' attention. So coworkers compete for raises and promotions. Because that's pretty normal, no? Na they compete for raises and promotions because all people have hopes, goals, and dreams that they want to achieve. So, but to collaborative team member, completing one another is more important than competing with one another. So they perceive themselves as a unit working together, and they will allow competition, and they never allow competition between teammates to get to the point where it hurts the team, diba? So you must see teammates as collaborators, not competitors. So second area would be the attitude. Be supportive, not suspicious, and not suspicious of teammates. If you trust people, you will treat them better, and if you will treat them better, you will be more likely to create a collaborative relationship with your teammates. Okay. Third area would be focus. Concentrate on the team and not on yourself. So as a person on a team, you will usually ask one of two questions when anything happens, whether it's a change in your organization. So you will likely ask one of two questions. So one would be, what's in it for me? So, or you can ask the question, what does this do for the team? Okay. Kung saan nakatuon yung focus mo or yung attention mo, it says a lot about yourself, or it says a lot about if you are competing with others or you complete them. Okay. Okay, last area would be results. For results, you create victories through multiplication. When you work together with your teammates, you can do remarkable things. Okay. All right. So there are countless references out there in how to be more collaborative or team player. But I will suggest, guys, I suggest you to read the book of John Maxwell. It's the 17 Essentials of a Team Player. So you can check on that book. Okay, soft skill number 3, that would be adaptability. Okay, so the one constant in life and in business, the one thing that never changes is that change is constant. Okay, companies are going through constant reorganization, merger, and acquisition. So they are in that situation. They are constantly in a state of flux. Hindi nila alam anong gagawin nila sa una if there's a change. Okay? So, if you are in the situation, what you could do is your ability to go with the flow and embrace change as positive is going to set you apart from the rest of your peers. Diba? So if there's a change, ano ka ba? Are you an optimistic employee or pessimist ka? So on how your ability to go with the flow with that change and seeing it as a positive occurrence will set you apart from the rest of your peers. So, di ba, sabi nga ni Charles Darwin, di ba, the strongest parang hindi daw yung strongest of the species that survive is the most adaptable. So if you want a good mantra for adaptability or change, think of that without change, a flower would always be a seed. Okay? So adaptability is necessary. Okay. So soft skill number 4, that would be the last skill that I'm going to discuss, the emotional intelligence. So, sir, why is it important in the workplace? If you don't know what EQ is, or emotional quotient, it's your ability to read the room, to sense and perceive the emotions and reactions of those around you in the office. Okay, so EQ, or emotional intelligence, is an absolute skill for people leaders. So if you will be managers, it's an important skill, because being self-aware means having a clear picture of your strengths and weaknesses. Being able to self-regulate means acting out of intention instead of reacting out of emotion. Diba? So, for example, think of this. If you're a manager, right? You will be manager in a few years. So, let's say you are a manager now, and you have, think of this, having a calm conversation with underperforming employee versus yelling. Okay, so when difficult issues comes up with a business, this skills allows you to think rationally and interact with your team calmly. Okay, so sir, what's the advantage naman? Kasi, di ba, fresh graduate pa lang kami. So what's the advantage of having an emotional intelligence to an employee? So for an employee, emotional intelligence can help you handle stressful projects. You can get along with coworkers, and you can monitor your own performance and stay motivated. Okay, so as an employee, this can be learned. Okay, with, as I mentioned, with proper coaching and mentoring with your boss or with your manager, or I'm asking for feedback from your teammates. It will improve over time. Okay, so the more you empathize with people, the better you will be at this skill. So again, if you're a leader of people, you're trying to upgrade your EQ. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Okay. So now you got this top 4 skills in 2021. Ano nang gagawin mo? So I have a few suggestions. Number 1, go back to your resume and make some changes and think about the bullet points and accomplishments that you've got in your resume. So paano mo siya gagawin? Paano mo siya babaguhin? So it should demonstrate one or more of these 4 skills, knowing that they are critically important to employers. How are you going to support those bullet points in your resume to demonstrate collaboration, demonstrate critical thinking, emotional intelligence, adaptability? So think through it, and it will be a thing. Okay. Last tip would be, our suggestion, practice answering interview questions or common interview questions that you get by incorporating examples on and how you demonstrate of these 4 skills. So that would be my suggestion. So yeah, I think I am already good. So this is my last slide. For those applicants or students that are looking for their for a job, you can visit us on Cognizant. You can visit Cognizant Careers in Jobs 180. This is our link. And for those, I know some of you are not yet ready to apply. And if you want to be updated for our demands or job openings, you can sign up in our Cognizant campus community, you can take a snapshot of this slide, then go to that link. Okay, so yeah, I think I'm good now. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you learned a thing or two about this presentation.
Thank you, Sir Mark. Ayan. So, Sir Mark, guys, you're open for questions. So, if you have questions for Sir Mark, you can put it in our comment section. So, Sir, while we are waiting for them, habang nag-iisip sila, Sir, I already came up with my question. So, number one, Sir, since you've worked with fresh grads before, may we ask what is your pet peeve or a quality that you don't like?
Quality that we don't like.
Yes, sir.
Did I get it?
So yes, sir. So the audience po can maybe adjust, or maybe they can look out for this attitudes and try to minimize po.
Maybe for me, that would be comprehension. So, when the interviewer asks you a question, make sure that you understand the question and don't yung wag ka agad-agad sasagot. You can pause and isipin nyo muna yung isasagot nyo. Diba? So, pwede kasing may tinanong ako pero iba yung sinagot mo. Diba? So, it's very important na yung naiintindihan mo yung tanong. Then, minsan kasi may mga applicants na iba yung tinanong mo pero iba din yung sagot. So, yun, that would be a comprehension issues din. So, yun, siguro.
Ayun. So, from mga veteranong interviewers, no? So, they would like you guys to at least, before answering, think about the question if you understand it correctly. No? So, and don't be shy to ask. So, kung hindi mo naman naintindihan, pwede ka can I clarify, is this what you meant? Mga ganyan. Yeah. So, sir, next question. Sir, syempre, tinanong natin kung ano yung ayaw nyo. Tatanungin din natin, sir, kung ano yung best quality na sa tingin nyo each fresh grad or each applicant should have. Besides dun sa mga nasabi nyo, sir, ano yung isa lang, pinaka-important quality that they should have?
For me, it would be trainability. If you are, diba, kunyari beginner ka and we understand na bago ka dun sa gantong work, gantong situation, and parang kung makita namin na interested ka and you're willing to be trained dun sa company namin, that would be a plus or advantage in passing the interview. So, yeah, you can demonstrate that, but yung willingness mo to learn, that would be yung willingness to learn.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, very, pag nag-i-interview, gusto mo talaga ipakita kung ano kaya mo, na may ibubuga ka, ganyan. But it's also important to show your interviewer na you're humble enough to be trained in the role that you are applying for. So I think it's a lesson that all of us would kailangan matutunan, no matter how far you are in life, kailangan trainable ka pa rin, kailangan humble ka pa rin. All right, so guys, do we have more questions from our group? If none, we'd like you guys to explore vacancies. So for Cognizant, their link is at the bottom of the screen. It's jobsunique.com/cognizantph. So if you're a fresh grad or if you're looking for opportunities, you can explore na para kung makita nyo kung ano yung mga positions, ano yung mga vacancies na bagay sa inyo. So Sir Mark, again from Job Unique team, we would like to thank you for gracing us today with your presence po and sharing with us your expertise and knowledge po in your field. So thank you, Sir Mark. We hope to see you more in future sessions po. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you, sir. Ayan. So, guys, we are done with our topics, and we'd like to thank our speakers for joining us today, this morning. And we'd like you guys to evaluate our event. So, the link is flashed on the screen, and it will also be available on our comment section. So, this is the evaluation for the University of the Assumption. So, sa kanila pupunta yung responses nyo, guys. So, this secures your attendance for the event. Alright? So, plug lang ako habang nag-evaluate kayo. So, nasa comment section din natin yan. Okay? We'd like to thank CEO Group for being one of our corporate sponsors for the event. And if you guys have corporate needs, you can check out the CEO store in Lazada and Shopee or at the nearest mall in your area to shop for your attire needs. And for career opportunities, they also have it. It's jobsunique.com/CEO. So to officially close our session for this morning, we'd like to call on Ms. Lorna Basmayor, College Guidance Counselor for the University of the Assumption.
In behalf of the University of the Assumption, College Guidance and Admissions Department, we express our sincerest gratitude to the wonderful people of Jobs180.com, particularly to Mr. Kim Chua, Managing Director, Mr. Perry Badilla, Corporate Talent Acquisition Manager, and Mr. Mark Aurelio, HR Junior Executive Cognizant, for sharing their precious time, expertise, and wisdom in today's webinar, Marketing Me Live at UA. To our dear UA students, we sincerely appreciate your interest, attention, and participation in today's event. Mimingat tamungan, mipangadi, God bless us all.
So thank you, Ma'am Lorna, for closing our event today. So again, please watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting for other universities this week and next week. So the topics and the events will be available on our Facebook page. So if you are interested to join a session, please, you're welcome to join. All right. So see you guys. Please don't forget to evaluate and have a great afternoon. Stay safe. Bye, guys.